The scorching sun beat down on the Ararai Plateau in Brazil when Maria Silva's shovel struck something that shouldn't have been there. The strange metallic echo caught everyone's attention, different from the usual dull thud of sedimentary rock. She had no idea that this random Tuesday in July would rewrite the entire history of bird evolution. The fossil emerging from the depths looked wrong, beautifully, fascinatingly wrong. This wasn't just another prehistoric bird. This was something that would make scientists question everything they thought they knew about avian evolution. The creature, preserved in exquisite detail, had features that shouldn't exist together, like finding a smartphone in ancient Rome. Its wings showed a complexity that rivaled modern engineering, with extra joints that seemed almost mechanical in their precision. But how could this be possible in a creature that lived 115 million years ago? The skull, perfectly preserved in the fine limestone, housed a brain cavity that was decades ahead of its evolutionary time, with visual processing regions that would make an eagle jealous. What kind of predator had such advanced features during the early Cretaceous? The real kicker came when researchers examined the feathers under an electron microscope. They found structures that suggested this bird could detect magnetic fields, with accuracy that would put modern navigation systems to shame. Think about that for a second. A prehistoric bird with built-in GPS, flying through skies that hadn't seen anything like it before or since. As the excavation team worked through the night under powerful floodlights, the magnitude of their discovery began to sink in. Each careful brushstroke revealed new mysteries. The creature's bone density suggested it was both a powerful flyer and an agile hunter, capable of maneuvers that would seem impossible for its size. Its eye sockets contained tiny structures that hinted at night vision capabilities, and its beak showed evidence of sensory organs unknown in any other fossil species. The question wasn't just how this creature lived, but how it had evolved such advanced features so early in avian history. The fossil's preservation was extraordinary, down to the microscopic level. Individual cells in the bone structure were visible under magnification, revealing a complex internal architecture that suggested this creature could process sensory information in ways we're only beginning to understand. Its feathers showed evidence of iridescence, but not the simple kind found in modern birds. These structures appeared to be able to change color actively, perhaps as a form of communication or camouflage. The implications were staggering. This wasn't just a new species, it was an entirely new type of bird that broke all the rules of what we thought was possible in the Cretaceous period. Back at the lab, initial dating tests confirmed the impossible. This creature existed during a time when birds were supposed to be primitive, yet it showed adaptations we thought evolved millions of years later. The team began calling it Temporavis, paradoxism, the paradoxical time bird. How had it developed these features so early? Why hadn't these adaptations been passed down to other species? And perhaps most intriguingly, what had caused this extraordinary creature to go extinct, taking its remarkable adaptations with it? As news of the discovery spread through the scientific community, teams from around the world began booking flights to Brazil. This single fossil was about to spark a scientific revolution, challenging everything we thought we knew about the evolution of flight, intelligence, and sensory perception in early birds. But as more questions emerged than answers, one thing became clear. This was just the beginning of a mystery that would take years to unravel. What other secrets would this remarkable creature reveal? And what other extraordinary discoveries might be waiting in the ancient rocks of the Ararai Plateau? In the months following the discovery, the scientific world struggled to make sense of Temporavis paradoxus. The Cretaceous period it inhabited was an alien world, with atmospheric oxygen levels 30% higher than today and global temperatures that would make our hottest summers feel mild. Vast inland seas carved up, the continents creating isolated pockets where evolution could experiment freely. This was the stage where our mysterious bird performed its evolutionary dance. But the script it followed seemed to break every rule we thought we knew about adaptation and survival. Laboratory analysis revealed a creature that seemed to transcend its time period. Advanced scanning techniques showed a brain structure more comparable to modern ravens than its Cretaceous contemporaries. The neural pathways suggested problem-solving abilities that shouldn't have existed for another 100 million years. Imagine a calculator appearing in ancient Greece. That's how out of place these features seemed. The creature's wingspan reached nearly 15 feet, yet its hollow bones contained reinforcing structures that engineers are now studying for aircraft design. How had nature stumbled upon such advanced solutions so early in the game? The magnetic sensitivity organs found in its beak turned out to be even more sophisticated than initially thought. Micro-CT scans revealed a network of specialized cells that could not only detect Earth's magnetic field, but potentially create its own magnetic pulses. Was this a form of communication? A hunting technique? The possibilities seemed endless, and each answer only led to more questions. The creature's eyes contained crystalline structures that suggested it could see in multiple light spectrums, including what we now call infrared. This wasn't just a bird. It was a biological marvel that combined features we struggle to replicate with modern technology. But perhaps the most perplexing aspect was its apparent social structure. Bone analysis showed stress patterns consistent with complex vocalization abilities, while brain case studies suggested neural networks devoted to social interaction. This wasn't a solitary hunter. It was part of a sophisticated society that existed when most other vertebrates were operating on pure instinct. The discovery of multiple specimens in close proximity, each showing signs of different ages and possible social roles, painted a picture of a highly organized species with social complexity rivaling modern wolves or dolphins. What forces had driven such rapid and sophisticated evolution? The team began reconstructing the ancient ecosystem, piecing together a world where being smart might have been as important as being strong. But this raised an even more troubling question. If one species could develop such advanced features so early, why hadn't others? What made Temporavis special? And why did these incredible adaptations apparently die with it? As researchers dug deeper into the mystery, they found themselves facing a fundamental question about evolution itself. Was the path from primitive to advanced creatures really as straightforward as we'd thought? Or had there been evolutionary experiments, magnificent failures that pushed the boundaries of what was possible only to disappear into the fossil record? And if so, what did that mean for our understanding of how complex life develops? The academic world erupted into chaos as the Temporavis findings hit major scientific journals. Traditional evolutionary biologists found themselves at odds with a new wave of researchers who saw this discovery as a chance to rewrite the textbooks. The specimen sat in its climate-controlled chamber while debates raged across conference halls and research labs worldwide. How could anyone explain a creature that seemed to ignore the established rules of evolutionary progression? The controversy reached fever pitch when Dr. Sarah Chen from Stanford published her controversial quantum leap theory, suggesting that certain evolutionary adaptations might occur in rapid bursts rather than gradual changes. She pointed to Temporavis as prime evidence, a creature that seemed to have developed multiple advanced features simultaneously, defying the conventional step-by-step model. The backlash was immediate and fierce. Traditional evolutionists called it fantasy science, but they struggled to explain the mounting evidence. Things got even more interesting when a team from Moscow announced they'd found similar magnetic sensitivity structures in a completely different family of prehistoric creatures. This wasn't just a one-off evolutionary experiment. Nature had played with these advanced adaptations multiple times. But why? What environmental pressures could have driven such extraordinary development? And why had these features seemingly disappeared from the evolutionary record for millions of years? The plot thickened when advanced dating techniques revealed something that sent shockwaves through the scientific community. Different parts of the specimen showed slightly different ages. Not just years, but thousands of years apart. Either the dating process was flawed, a possibility no one wanted to consider given the precision of the equipment, or they were looking at evidence of a species that had maintained its advanced features unchanged for far longer than should have been possible. The implications were staggering, a creature so perfectly adapted that it didn't need to evolve further. As if the situation wasn't complex enough, a team of quantum biologists proposed a radical theory. What if Temporavis's magnetic sensitivity had allowed it to detect and respond to quantum-level phenomena. The idea seemed absurd until they demonstrated how modern birds use quantum entanglement in their navigation systems. Could this ancient creature have developed quantum sensing abilities that we're only now beginning to understand? And if so, what else might it have been capable of that we haven't even thought to look for? The debate wasn't just about one unusual fossil anymore. It had evolved into a battle over the fundamental principles of how we understand life itself. Fresh analysis of Temporavis's hunting capabilities shattered every preconception about prehistoric avian predators. High-resolution scans of the wing joints revealed something unprecedented, a locking mechanism that allowed the creature to switch between different flight modes mid-dive, like a fighter jet morphing its wings during combat. The implications hit the scientific community like a thunderbolt. This wasn't just an advanced bird, it was nature's perfect aerial killing machine. Digital reconstructions painted a terrifying picture of Temporavis in action. Its 15-foot wingspan could collapse to just 7 feet in an instant, allowing it to weave through dense forest canopy at speeds exceeding 100 miles per hour. But raw speed was just the beginning. The creature's brain structure suggested it could process visual information 10 times faster than a modern falcon, perceiving the world in what we would consider slow motion. Imagine a predator that could see every wing beat of its prey, anticipate every evasive maneuver before it happened. The magnetic sensing organs proved even more lethal than initially thought. Temporavis didn't just detect magnetic fields, it could read the magnetic signatures of other animals' nervous systems, literally sensing their heartbeats from hundreds of feet away. No camouflage could hide from this sixth sense. In the oxygen-rich, Cretaceous atmosphere, its reinforced hollow bones allowed it to pull high-G maneuvers that would make modern birds black out. The creature could change direction so fast it would have appeared to teleport to the eyes of its prey. But the real game-changer came when Dr. James Morrison's team discovered evidence of pack-hunting behavior. Tooth marks on prey fossils showed coordinated attack patterns, while brain case analysis suggested sophisticated vocal communication abilities. These birds hunted in organized groups, using tactics that wouldn't look out of place in a wolf pack or killer whale pod. The fossil record showed prey animals up to 5 times their size, including some of the period's apex predators. How do you hide from a pack of supersonic predators that can literally sense your fear? The question that kept researchers up at night wasn't how Temporavis hunted, it was what could possibly have caused the extinction of such a perfectly evolved predator. What force could have been powerful enough to wipe out a species that seemed designed to survive anything? And more disturbingly, given the current state of genetic engineering technology, should we consider bringing something like this back? Some scientists argued we're not ready to face a predator this advanced. Others suggest we need to understand Temporavis's capabilities to prepare for whatever evolution might throw at us next. One thing's certain, the more we learn about this creature, the more it challenges our place at the top of the evolutionary ladder. The Temporavis discovery has sparked a revolution in evolutionary biology that extends far beyond paleontology. 3 years after Maria Silva's shovel struck that fateful rock, we're still grappling with the implications. Research teams worldwide are now re-examining old fossils with new eyes, wondering what other extraordinary creatures might have been misclassified or overlooked. The time bird hasn't just changed what we know, it's changed how we look for knowledge itself. The ripple effects have touched fields as diverse as biomechanical engineering, quantum computing, and even artificial intelligence development. Silicon Valley tech companies are reverse engineering Temporavis's magnetic sensing organs to develop next-generation navigation systems that could revolutionize everything from autonomous vehicles to space exploration. Military researchers are studying its wing morphing capabilities for advanced drone design, while aerospace engineers are finding inspiration in its bone structure for new lightweight materials. Neuroscientists are puzzling over its brain structure, trying to understand how it achieved cognitive capabilities that rival modern birds, while dinosaurs still ruled the Earth. The implications for our understanding of intelligence evolution are staggering. If complex cognition could evolve so early, what does that mean for our theories about brain development? But for every answer we find, 3 new questions emerge. Was Temporavis truly unique, or was it part of a whole ecosystem of similarly advanced creatures we haven't discovered yet? Did its extraordinary capabilities contribute to its extinction, pushing it into an evolutionary dead end? And perhaps, most intriguingly, could similar evolutionary leaps be happening right now under our noses? Recent genetic studies of modern birds have revealed dormant gene sequences that bear striking similarities to those predicted in Temporavis models. It's as if echoes of this extraordinary creature still resonate through the DNA of its distant descendants. The discovery has forced us to confront the possibility that evolution isn't just about slow, gradual change. Sometimes it takes quantum leaps that produce creatures so advanced they seem to defy the timeline of life itself. This raises profound questions about the nature of evolutionary innovation. Are there environmental triggers that can accelerate evolution dramatically? Could we identify these conditions and perhaps even replicate them? The ethical implications of such possibilities have sparked heated debates in scientific circles. Emerging research suggests Temporavis might have influenced evolution in ways we're only beginning to understand. Genetic analysis of modern raptors has revealed preserved gene sequences that mirror theoretical Temporavis DNA patterns. These ghost genes appear to be inactive but intact, as if nature had archived these advanced capabilities for future use. Some researchers speculate that these dormant genes could potentially be reactivated under the right conditions, raising both exciting and troubling possibilities for future evolution. Climate change researchers have taken particular interest in Temporavis's adaptability. How did it maintain its advanced features through significant environmental changes? Could understanding its survival strategies help us predict how modern species might adapt to our rapidly changing climate? Some scientists suggest that studying Temporavis's remarkable adaptations might provide crucial insights into helping endangered species survive the current environmental crisis. The quantum biology aspects of Temporavis continue to challenge our understanding of life itself. Its ability to sense and possibly manipulate magnetic fields at the quantum level suggests biological systems might be capable of far more sophisticated interactions with the physical world than we previously imagined. This has led to a new field of study examining potential quantum effects in modern organisms, with early results suggesting such capabilities might be more common than we thought, just operating at levels we hadn't learned to detect. Perhaps, most intriguingly, the Temporavis discovery has forced us to reconsider our place in Earth's evolutionary history. Are we really at the pinnacle of evolution, or are we just another step in a much longer journey? The existence of such an advanced creature in the distant past suggests that evolution doesn't follow a simple trajectory from simple to complex. Instead, it seems to explore multiple paths simultaneously, sometimes producing creatures that seem to leap ahead of their time. As we face unprecedented environmental changes and technological advances, the lessons of Temporavis become increasingly relevant. What evolutionary innovations might emerge in response to current global challenges? Will we see the re-emergence of capabilities similar to those of Temporavis in modern species? And perhaps most importantly, will we recognize these evolutionary leaps when they happen? Or will they remain hidden until some future scientist makes an unexpected discovery? The deeper we dig into the Temporavis mystery, the clearer it becomes that we're not just studying a remarkable fossil. We're glimpsing the true potential of life itself. This creature stands as proof that nature is capable of innovations far beyond our current understanding or expectations. As we continue to unravel its secrets, we're not just learning about the past, we're gaining insights that could be crucial for navigating our own species' future. The story of Temporavis reminds us that evolution is not a finished process, but an ongoing experiment, and its most extraordinary chapters might still be waiting to be written. The only question is whether we'll be wise enough to learn from these lessons from the past as we face the uncertain challenges of the future.